John Lennon, the dream that got shot down. Picture this, one man's voice helps build the biggest band the world has ever seen. His pen rewires the brain of an entire generation. And then one night, right outside his own home, in the city he loved, he gets gunned down. 5 shots were fired. That man is John Lennon. And what you're about to hear isn't just a music legend story. It's a story about love, rebellion, and tragedy, all tangled together in one impossible life. Today we're going through everything. His childhood, his music, the songs that changed the world, and the legacy he left behind. Stick with me. This 10 minutes is going to hit you hard. 1940, Liverpool, England. Bombs are falling. The Second World War is tearing through the city. And right in the middle of that chaos, John Winston Lennon is born. His dad's a merchant sailor, basically absent. His mom, Julia, can't really raise him on her own, so young. John gets handed off to his Aunt Mimi. That's wound number 1, a kid growing up without his mother's arms around him. And it doesn't stop there. When John's 17, right when he and his mom are finally rebuilding their relationship, Julia gets hit by a car and dies, just like that. John's world cracks open again. That pain never really leaves him. It just goes underground and waits to surface in his music. Years later, he writes a song called Julia. That's this wound, laid bare. Music becomes his way out. The moment he hears Elvis Presley, something switches on inside him. He learns banjo chords from his mom, picks up a guitar, and in 1956 starts his own band, the Quarrymen. Then, in 1957, at a church picnic, he meets a 15-year-old guitarist named Paul McCartney. And right there, one of the greatest creative partnerships in music history is born. The Quarrymen evolve into the Beatles. George Harrison joins, then Ringo Starr. They grind it out in Liverpool clubs and brutal all-night sets in Hamburg. Those years aren't glamorous. They're exhausting, relentless, and they forge this band into something unstoppable. 1962. Brian Epstein starts managing them. Love Me Do drops as their first single, and then 1963 hits like a freight train. Please Please Me. She Loves You. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Beatlemania is born. Girls are screaming. Girls are fainting. The world has genuinely never seen anything like this. 1964, they invade America. 73 million people watch them on The Ed Sullivan Show. At this point, John Lennon isn't just a musician anymore. He's the voice of an entire generation. But here's the thing about John. He never wanted to just entertain. He saw music as a weapon. Starting with Help in 1965, you can hear something shifting inside him. Then Rubber Soul, and right after it, Revolver, and everything explodes. Tomorrow Never Knows, inspired by the Tibetan Book of the Dead, built from backwards guitars and tape loops, completely redraws the boundaries of what rock music can even be. This isn't pop anymore. This is pure experimentation, and John is leading the charge. 1967. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A turning point not just for the Beatles, but for music itself. John writes, A Day in the Life, pulled straight from newspaper headlines, fractured, surreal, building to that massive orchestral crescendo that still gives people chills. He wrote that song after reading about a friend's death in the paper. Pain converted directly into art right in front of you. Then LSD enters the picture. Spiritual trips to India follow. And John's life shifts again, fundamentally, when he meets Yoko Ono in 1966. That meeting becomes the great love of his life, and, at the same time, the spark that eventually ends the Beatles. In 1968, revolution makes his politics unmistakable, but tension inside the band keeps growing. Money disputes, creative clashes, emotional distance. By 1970, the Beatles officially break up. The whole world goes into mourning. But for John, this isn't an ending. It's a beginning. His solo work becomes raw, brutally honest. On the Plastic Ono Band album, the song Mother is John screaming, literally screaming, about the pain of being abandoned as a child. It's not a song, it's a confession. It's primal therapy set to music. 1971. Imagine arrives, one simple piano note, and suddenly you have one of the greatest peace anthems the world has ever heard. Imagine all the people living life in peace. That line is almost embarrassingly simple, and that's exactly why it became the hope song for hundreds of millions of people. He drew inspiration from Yoko Ono's poetic concepts in her book Grapefruit. Simplicity, used as the most powerful weapon imaginable. John raises his voice against the Vietnam War. Together with Yoko, he stages the Bed-In for Peace in Amsterdam. He writes, "Give peace a chance," and it becomes the anthem of the entire peace movement. The American government sees him as a threat and tries to deport him. A legal battle drags on for years. John Lennon, the musician, becomes John Lennon, the political target. In 1975, his son Sean is born, and John walks away from music completely. For 5 years, he focuses entirely on being a father. For the era, that's an almost unthinkable choice. The biggest star in the world steps off the stage to be a stay-at-home dad. But that silence might be the most human moment of his entire life. And then, December 8th, 1980 happens. New York City, outside the Dakota Building. John Lennon is heading home from the recording studio. Mark David Chapman, a man who had literally gotten Lennon's autograph earlier that same day, is waiting in the dark. He fires 5 shots. 4 bullets strike John Lennon, and he dies right there, at the entrance to his own home. He's 40 years old. The world freezes that night. Radio stations play Imagine on loop all night long. Thousands gather in Central Park holding candles. The Strawberry Fields Memorial still stands there today, a permanent reminder of that night. John Lennon's legacy in music is honestly immeasurable. The Beatles fundamentally rewired how music gets made. Studio recording techniques, the concept album, lyrical depth that actually reads like literature. All of that traces back to John and the band he helped build. Imagine remains, to this day, one of the most performed and most covered peace songs on the planet. Millions of people hum it every single year, often without even thinking about where it came from. Here's what John Lennon taught us. Art doesn't just have to be beautiful. Art has a responsibility to tell the truth. Pain, love, rebellion, hope. All of it, stripped completely bare, no hiding. John Lennon lived that philosophy. His life was tragically cut short, but his voice never was. But his voice is still out there. Every single time Imagine plays, somewhere in the world, people stop just for a second and listen. If this story hit you the way it hit me, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and send this video to someone who needs it. Drop a comment. What's the John Lennon song that means the most to you? What part of this story stuck with you the hardest? We read every comment, every single one. See you in the next one. Choose peace. Choose music. Never forget John.